Hey everybody, this is Mr. Storm. Now in the interest of making these videos a bit smaller, I'm just going to walk you through the code and not type it out the whole time. I just wrote it all out, made sure it works, made sure there's no troubleshooting I have to do. And I'm just going to walk you through each section of code. Because in my mind, on your end, it's about the same in terms of experience. The experience is about the same, but you don't have to hear me fumbling through my keys and stuff. Anyway, so this is the result. This is what we're going to actually make. A two-player game where player one is on W and S, player two is on up and down, and when you click start, the game starts, and the ball goes faster every time it collides with a paddle. So that was counted as a score for the left, even though it was not exactly. Anyway, so it gets harder, and then you can score on your friends, and you just keep playing. Okay, so that's the game. Now let's talk about how I made it. All right. Okay, so let's see. First, for our HTML, we have an canvas, which is exactly the same as what we've been doing so far. Up here in our CSS, we have, we're doing the same thing as what we did before, just basically setting the height and width values, setting a border. Now in the script, this is where it gets fun. So we're creating some references to the canvas and then our context. We're going to create some variables for our key codes. So W is going to be 87, S is 83. Now these are the actual key codes as they correspond on the keyboard, just to make it a little bit easier. Then we're going to keep track of the keys, basically set these all to false. And then we want to make rect function, which is it's basically the same as the last time that we did a make rect. Now there are some differences here. We want to pass an X, a Y, width, height, speed, and color. And now we're going to say if we don't have a color, then the color is going to be just 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. And then we're going to return the values of all of these, and we're going to draw a rectangle. Okay, so that's a lot of the same as what we did. Now we need to create our paddles, our left and right paddles. So the width is going to be 25, the height is 100. Left paddle is going to be make rect 25, canvas.height divided by 2, minus paddle height divided by 2, paddle width, paddle height. Yeah, so all that's to make the left paddle. And this is to make the right paddle. Okay, basically the same. We're just putting it in a different position, and we're changing it to a different color. All right. We're going to keep track of the score. We have two scores. We have a left score and a right score because you're playing against a friend. Then we're going to create the ball, which is just going to be another rectangle using the make rect function. And we're going to pass in a ball speed and a ball length to it. Good stuff. Now we want to modify the ball object so that it has two speed properties. We want it to have a speed on the X and a speed on the Y. All right. So we have a speed X equals ball speed Y equals ball speed divided by 2. Now, the reason why we don't want it to go as fast up and down as it goes left and right. Okay. Because that would make the game too, think about it, maybe play around with that variable and see if maybe that's something. But I'm telling you, you want it to be half. You want it to go up and down half as fast as it goes left and right. Okay. Then we want to randomize the initial direction. We don't always want it to go to the left or to the right or whatever. We want it to randomize. And this is we want it to randomize up and down. So X and Y. Now, after we score, we want to call a function called reset ball, which will put our ball back in the beginning or back in the center of the screen. So that's what this does, the reset ball function. Then we have this bounce ball function, which is kind of big. What this is going to do is it's essentially going to determine So it's going to increase and reverse the x speed. So if ball sx is greater than 0, then ball SX plus equals 1. So we're going to add some speed. We want to add some spin to it as well. So if we're going up, we want the spin to, spin up. If we're going down, then we want the spin to go down. So you can kind of control the angle of the ball. All right, and this is going to be else, adding a spin as well. Okay, for the other guy. All right, then we have our listening and key down events here. So basically listening for WS up and down. And then we have the same thing for listening for key up events. And then our menu, which is pretty much the same as what we did last time. I mean, there's a couple differences here, but that's pretty close to the same as what we did before. And then we want to start our game. So we're going to create a start game function. We want to remove the click listener, reset the ball, and draw. All right. We want an end game function, which erases our screen. And basically just displays who won. Easy enough. Then we want to clear the canvas. We have our clear canvas function, which is the exact same thing as our last two projects. And now we have our main draw loop, our draw function, which is the main part of our game. So we're starting with an erase. We're going to be able to move the paddles here, basically setting our paddle movement. We want to move the ball. We want the ball to bounce off of the top and bottom. So if it comes into contact with the top or bottom, we want it to remove or reverse its direction. Reverse its Y direction. We want to make sure the paddles don't go off screen, so we're going to constrain them here. All right. We want the ball to bounce off the paddles, so that's what this is going to do. If, oh, my dog's barking at me. Hold on. Yes, can I help you? Come on in. There she goes. Sorry about that. So if ball.y plus ball. So basically if we hit the left paddle, then we're going to bounce the ball. If we hit the right paddle, we're going to bounce the ball. That's basically how we're doing that. If the ball goes past the paddle, then we're going to set the score. We're going to do both here. So then we want to draw the paddles and draw the ball. We want to draw the scores as well. And then end the game or keep going. So if left score is greater than 10 or right score is greater than 10, then we're going to end the game. Else, we're going to keep going. So if anyone scores more, or if anyone scores 10, then the game is over. And then the last two things is drawing the menu and then focusing on the canvas. So again, I think 8 minutes is a lot better than 35 minutes. So hopefully that's a little bit easier to get through. And again, I didn't explain everything because, this is your final project for the course. You should understand, for the most part, what we're doing here. So I'm just going to play Pong by myself, and you guys can get to work. And I will see you in the next class. Peace.